Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Hope and Coffee, where we are enjoying a beautiful Sunday. I have my cute new background that I'm kind of loving right now. Like, it feels so serene and it feels so relaxing that I kind of love being in this space, which is great because I'll probably just live here for the rest of my life, and that's totally fine. And I don't mean to sound silly or sarcastic, but oh my goodness, this has been a terrible weekend for just trying to make connections in the dating world. Um, you guys know I actively try. I actively try to put myself on dating apps to try to be a pleasant individual, to say, hey, how's it going? And so, like on Bumble, females always have to be the first person to make the connection. So if you match with someone, the female has to be the one to send the first message. So I always, if I make a match, try to send at least a hey to open the doorway. Um, and I don't even know why I try at this particular point, but I guess I'm just like weirdly persistent in that manner. It's just crazy. Um, but yeah, so had a couple guys matched with, try to start conversations with, and again, I try to just open the door at first, just try to say, hey, how's it going? And I try to say their name. So, like, I'm acknowledging that I am specifically saying it to them and that I'm not just sending them like a canned hey. Um, I try to say, like, hey, Trevor, how are you doing today? Or something, I don't know. And, you know, just say hi. I acknowledge that we matched, sort of thing. Well, then I it's just so frustrating because a couple guys, like, they're just like, hey. And I'm like, what's going on? How's your weekend going? So, still trying to get this ball rolling, trying to start a conversation, not trying to, I don't know, just trying to figure it out. And they'll be like, hey, nothing. Cool. Thank you so much for giving me this fuel to help this conversation keep going. And so for two different individuals, I literally was like, hey, look, all right, you're not giving me anything to work with, and I'm really actively trying to start a conversation. So I really hope you have a good day. Good luck. And one guy pretty much immediately unmatched me, which was fine because that's kind of the point. The other guy was like, oh, I'm just like better in person. And then that guy was like super persistent on wanting to see like old pictures of me. And I was like, I feel like that's kind of irrelevant. You haven't really, you, other than the, like, these are my new pictures on my profile. I actually try to keep them updated with ones from like either this past week or this past weekend. I want them to know this is what I look like. I don't try to filter my pictures or anything of that nature. I just try to keep them like, I've got some like at least waist up pictures. I've got like a full body in front of the mirror. Like, I think I've got one in my Halloween costume. But the thing is like, you can clearly tell I'm me. I hope. I've had a couple people like who did meet me in person. They're like, "Oh wow, you do look like your pictures." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sorry if people usually don't. I don't even try to filter my pictures. In fact, I even put pictures on my profile where I'm not even wearing makeup, just simply because, like, guys are always complaining about the fact that girls are, over filtering their pictures or don't have natural pictures or what have you. I'm just like, well, I'll try to break that stereotype too. I don't really know. But anyway, so ultimately that second guy who kind of started to conversate a little bit better was really weird about wanting to see. He was like, "Oh, you just don't want to send me old pictures of you, do you?" I'm like, I just don't feel like they're super relevant. We've only been maybe texting today. So I'm not sure why you want to see them. I said, I used to be a heavier girl. I've done a lot of self work. I've done a lot with self care. So I feel like that's not me anymore. So I'm not really sure why you want to see them. And he's like, oh, okay. I'm like, is there a reason why you want to see them? Is there a purpose? And he's like, no. So I think pretty much at that point, after he was like, nah, I think I unmatched him because I was just like, I don't really know. I really do not know what's going on anymore. Um, but that's just it. It's like I can't figure it out to save my life. Like I really can't. I have tried matching with people my own age. It just doesn't work because half the time, especially here in Huntsville, Alabama, okay, if you've got a fish, if you're holding a fish, wearing camo, or you are out hunting, I'm probably not going to match with you. Um, that's just simple preference that I do not, I don't want kind of around in my general atmosphere. I'm just not the type of person who I guess enjoys that. I understand if that's something you enjoy, and so that's why I am totally fine with you doing you. I'll keep doing me. Perfect. Um, I don't even mind if someone goes fishing. That is okay. I just simply, I'm like, you're taking pictures with fish. I'm not. I don't. I don't. What is the equivalent for a female to take a picture with that is so, I guess, negative for a guy? Like, what picture would a girl need to take for a guy to be like, oh, she's doing that? Swipe no. Because I don't know. Because when I see a fish picture, and in Huntsville, there are a lot. I'm talking at least 90% of the profiles. It's like John Deere hat, camo, some sort of ATV, um, something like that, out in the woods, fishing, hunting. 90 to 95% of the profiles. So that takes out a lot of people for me to kind of match with. But also, like the single dads. I'm not an individual, like, I have two dogs. That's fine. I'm not a person who ever wanted to be a mom. It's just, again, my preference. And I totally don't mind if you have kids. That is fine. I just don't know if I'm really in a mindset to want to date someone who has that going on. I don't think even at this point, this age, that I'm done growing up myself. I still think I am enjoying my life very thoroughly, and I'm not sure I'm really willing to share it in that capacity. Now, I am kind of looking for someone who might be a partner, a best friend, a counterpart, but I do not think I'm ready to also start including kids and children into the mix as well. Just not something I'm looking for. But that takes me down to about 1% of the what I would seem as matchable individuals on these profiles. And I'm 100% certain that my choices in guys is usually pretty terrible. I have a track record of just, I guess, not dating. I mean, I've dated like one or two guys that have been decent, but like for the most part, most of them not super great. But they always start out pretty nice, and then they show their true colors, and you just kind of have to like, okay, I gotta move on. But anyway, I don't know. Dating life is not going well. Matching with people is not going well. Half the time, I also think the ones I do match with are probably bots or scams. Like one guy matched with seemed pretty nice, gave him my number so he could text me. And then when he texts me, he gives me a different name. And then he starts asking me the same questions that he asked me on the app. I was like, didn't we just talk about this? He's like, yeah, well, I'm trying to determine if we're really compatible. And so I just, want to confirm that, what you said was the same thing. But his profile disappeared on the app. So I just immediately blocked him without answering him because I was like, oh, okay, he's definitely a bot. He's not a real person. Like that's great. Because I'm not desperate. I don't care. Honestly, like no. Like when people are like, so what are you looking for on here? I'm like, that is such a horrible question in my personal opinion right now. Like, let's just meet and see if we like connect first and we can go from there. Like, that's my preference. Because I don't have a 3 to 5 year plan with you, and I don't even know if you're like decent. So let's just start with, hey, how's it going? Let's grab some coffee. But anyway, if you've made it this far, thanks so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe. It really does help. And I will see you all on the next page. Have a great one.